Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing wonderful this morning. Hope that you're enjoying your life and whatever you've chosen to do today. Hope it's been something fun for yourself. You've given yourself a gift of your time and just pamper yourself a little bit. But I hope that you're doing all right. It's hot here. It's very summery. I think it was 32 degrees yesterday and so very, very warm. Decided to get up nice and early this morning and do this video so that I could go out and enjoy some of this beautiful sunshine. So I hope that you're doing okay. Now, this morning, my tea is actually non-existent. I'm having a drink of water. I decided that this was important to stay hydrated and just have a glass of water. Sometimes I put lemon juice in there, but you probably got your own little tips and tricks for staying hydrated in the summer months. And you may be watching this in the middle of winter, so it's all the same. Water is good for you. So I wanted to mention that today's show is sponsored by International Living. Now, International Living is a company that we believe in here at 60 and Me. They are a company that is helping people retire abroad. So if you've decided that you want to retire in another part of the world, maybe it's somewhere far away, in another sort of continent, or whether it's in around the corner in Europe or other parts of the world, they are here to help. They have ambassadors on the ground who do their research, and they basically give you tools to make decisions. And they've got a report that they've made available to us. It's on internationalliving.com/60andme, and it's a report on places that you can go to test out a retirement situation. So 5 places that they think are good options to just go and maybe stay for a couple of months, and just test out the waters. So thanks to International Living. Now, in line with that conversation about where you're going to retire, I wanted to talk about retirement. Now, I haven't retired. I don't think I ever will, and perhaps you feel the same way. But when I left my corporate job, my last corporate job was now 6 years ago. And when I took that last paycheck, part of me went with it, and I've never been the same. Now, I've done part-time work. I've done consultancy work. Getting 60 and Me started was it was a journey. So I've done other jobs, and I don't I didn't worry about that because I knew I had a light at the end of the tunnel. I was working for 60 and Me, but I worked, and in doing that, it was never the same though. It was never the same as that job that I had where I had an office and a title and a team of people sometimes, but where my life was very structured. And so everyone basically complains about their work. Everybody wants to do something else. And it's always, hard to be at peace sometimes with that routine and the challenges of working for a corporation. But we moan about it, but we miss it when we don't have it. So there's good and bad, of course, on both sides. But if you have decided that you want to retire, here are some things for you to consider. And I wouldn't take these lightly, because saying to yourself, I'm going to retire or I'm going to give up my job, is easy to say that. But when you get into it and you're 2 or 3, 4 months in and you're not got that salary check, maybe you've got a pension, but you lose your identity. Maybe for other people it's not so intense, but for me, my job was my life. When I worked at Microsoft, when I worked for Siemens, it was my life. I breathed, moved, every decision was based on my work. I truly thought that the world would not survive without me. I say that lightly, but it's true in a way. You feel like you're very important and vital to an operation. But you develop this sense of identity in your work, and when you give it up, it's gone. You no longer have that context. Now, you may be doing part-time work like I did, or like I'm working now for myself, and that gives you a different kind of identity, but not the one that is solidified in a 9-to-5 job you've been doing for 20, 30 years. So, and this actually, the categories that this affects are the clothes you wear. The clothes you wear to go to work. Here I am in a t-shirt and leggings this morning, and that's how I'm going to spend the day because it's super hot and I'm just getting comfortable. The things you read, the magazines, the work topics, usually they would be often they would be related to your job, to the job that you're being paid for, and then of course there's the roles that you had outside of work that were tied to your job. So of course there are the big roles that we play, like we're perhaps a spouse if we are married, we're a mother, we are maybe a volunteer in the world, we are we're all those things, and that changes as well. Now, it shouldn't, but it does. When you're not working, those roles change at the same time. So you got a new you. You've created a brand new you, and you've got to now be at peace with it. And you've got to make it come to life and make it happy and make it thrive. And I think that's the important. And that's why International Living, I think, is such an interesting company, because they talk about, maybe that new you isn't here. Maybe it isn't in the place you've lived all your life. Maybe that new you is in Greece, or it's in Italy, or it's in Ecuador, or some other place. There's a new you, embrace it. Important to have self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself because you're not able to support your children perhaps the way you did in the past, take them on holidays, buy them gifts, all the things you did as a mom or as a friend. And you're just now having to watch your budget perhaps, but you've got to have self-compassion. You've got to love yourself. And you've got to feel that, be kind to yourself as well as to others, and reach out for support. Now, if you're looking, for example, to be a digital nomad and work from a location-independent job where you learn skills you can do anywhere, then there are resources. There's a great woman, Kristen Wilson, who has done this, Wish's website, Facebook, TV channel, but she takes you step by step through the process of retiring and working abroad, working on the go. Self-kindness goes with self-compassion. I mean, we're kind to everybody else, but sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves, so hard. And I think that just that kindness, like, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not feel up to, 100,000% energy. Your body changes as you get older, and you've got to respect that. I think that the other thing is the common experience. There are women and men all around the world doing what you're doing. And the thing is, it's not just retirement. It's not just giving up your job. It's actually dealing with changes in your face and your body and the aging, in quotes, process. Yes, we're living longer. We're getting educated. We're dealing with our nutrition needs and stress and worry. But we still are getting older. And I think that's really being kind and realize it's a worldwide thing. You're not alone. This is easy. So be present, be passionate, compassionate, and passionate to yourself. And if you haven't got a mission or purpose since you've left your job, I think it's really cool to find one. And whether that's helping in your community or working in a part-time job, it's okay. And here's the other thing. If you find after a year or two or even months that you don't like being retired, you're bored, you're nervous, you're just not comfortable, go back to work. It's okay. It's okay to admit that you need to go back. And if not back to where you were, back to a consultancy job where you were doing things, where you can do things you know well, or find other ways to share your skills. And that's, I think, and get paid for it. And if you haven't got a company that will hire you at 60 or 65, then maybe it's time to think about your own business. And there are lots of things you can do, everything from writing a blog and making some money from that, from advertising and other things like that, or working part-time in a place that is similar to where you worked, or even just go work in a cafe or retail. It doesn't really matter at this point, because now you just want a little extra money and you want to be happy. And that's really it. So I think it's about encouraging your mindset to shift and to be comfortable with yourself, but at the same time, still be looking for opportunities. And every person that you meet, every party you go to, every event that you attend, there's going to be, if you open your ears and open your eyes, you just might find an opportunity. And don't give up on those LinkedIn, those contacts in your networking world. They're doing things too. And maybe there's a place for you to help or to be involved. So just keeping positive, be kind, be compassionate. I'm giving you all this advice. I need to take it myself, of course, because sometimes it's even hard. It's hard for me, to actually accept that I'm no longer, a Microsoft manager. I am now Margaret at 60andMe, and I love it. So thank you again for being here. I hope this has inspired you. Please leave your comments in the section below. I'd love to know what changes you experienced in your life when you retired. What happened? I mean, how did it work? How did you feel? Did you adapt well, or did you have some challenges? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's help each other here. I think it's really, really useful. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Get out in the sun if it's sunny, if it's cold, stay warm and cuddly. But whatever you do, just make it fun. Do it for yourself and just give yourself a virtual hug. You're doing okay. Take very good care, everyone, and I will be back soon. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.